We have an intern.
Oh.
Well, I say intern. Work release or whatever it is.
That's actually about 30.
That machine's nice. Fix them holes.
It is really.
Good to have to get out, yeah.
Oh, with the
Boom up in the front?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that in action. That's pretty impressive.
One man.
Nice. Does it use regular material or is it gotta buy 10 times as much material?
No.
Interesting.
One guy instead of three.
Okay, I think we'll go ahead and get started. 6 o'clock. Calling meeting order, roll call. We have, looks like Mary Jo, Steve, Matt, Aaron, and myself, full council, so quorum is present. Okay. Moving on to the minutes of was it April?
13th and 27th.
13th and the 27th, sorry about that. Those meetings, do we have a motion to approve those meeting minutes?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes for April 27th, 2026 and April 13th.
Motion by Mary Jo, second by Steve. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay. Mr. Burns.
All right, well, continuing the stealing of thunder, the checks for the first phase will be written on Friday. There have been some back and forth that you can certainly talk about as far as the exact numbers.
Yeah, I think we got that resolved.
Got it all resolved. Then there was an issue for a minute or two, or I'm just sort of watching emails as they're going. I wasn't involved, specifically about what was being withheld. And so I think that's all done and the checks are supposed to be written on Friday.
Written on Friday, should be getting here, this following Monday. So he
So-
said he'd give us any routing information. that we got.
Okay. So that's phase one. We got 3 phases to deal with and time is a wasting. And as Georgia just reminded me, we have passed some timing that would have been important to not pass if we were going to get this thing done in a expeditious fashion. I believe that in order to get this thing done, I've always believed we had to get phase one done first, but holy cow, it's been way too long in my view. And so I think it would probably be money well spent to talk about all options. We talked about the best option, which is getting them to finance, but I think we may want to look at all options so that we are not sitting here in 3 months wondering what's going to happen. Because recall, we're looking to them to write a couple of pretty sizable checks to pay for their share of the flow. And we don't have the ability to force them to do that. That's not law doesn't require us to allow that. What we have the ability to do is to have a surcharge for them that they would pay for their flow. It ends up at the same place, but it means cash is not up front. It means longer bonding. It means more interest paid for bonding. So there's a bunch of reasons we would not prefer that, but I think we need to at least have that option available. So any other, if you don't mind, anything else from your perspective on UMH?
No, nothing else from our perspective on that. I think London Witty had gone through the exercise and seeing what the comparisons would be of bonding at different amounts.
Yeah.
They had even gone so far as to put together a representation of what a special rate class and rate for UMH would look like if it were to be covered via rate increases as opposed to just a lump sum payment.
Right.
So that may be worth revisiting with UMH as a group, but
Yeah.
might wait for those checks.
And it may be that you want to get the subcommittee together and we sit down and talk to our bond council also all at the same time, get them all on this, get everybody on the same page, make sure there aren't options that maybe are out there that we just haven't considered yet. Because again, best way for the town is clearly the first, which is to have them fund a lot up front.
Mhm.
But the mechanism does not exist in the law to require that. We can certainly make them participate, but that's a longer, more drawn out process. So is there any questions on that?
No, at this time, I mean,
I will be happy when phase one is paid for.
yes, I'd be, yeah,
See
see some movement on this,
what's that?
just to see some movement on. it.
Yeah, absolutely. So no, I think that's exactly right. Okay, Jewett, I think I reported last time we had default judgment, which we do have. I know there's at least some thinking that there might be some interested parties. I don't know whether there's been any thoughts given to, you know, who that might be, or whether it would be time to at least talk to a realtor and say, hey, look, this property might, and it's a might at this point, might become available through the court processes, a sheriff's sale ultimately. Before that happens, we want to see what happens with the taxes. You just had that property up, Georgia. Did it show about tax? Oh, that wasn't that wasn't real estate, that was ours. So, you know, last time, don't ask me why, taxes were paid. It's like ignoring everything except that which is the actual way that they're gonna lose their property. So somebody's paying attention. Who's paying the tax? It's not a lot of tax, I realize, but.
When were the taxes last paid?
They're up on a year, they're delinquent, she'll be able to pull it up there, but. They are, again, seriously delinquent,
Okay,
and I think they may have until end of the year, you see them there, man. Well, let's see.
I don't know if it gets me a total loans due.
No, let's see. That'll be the action. Oh, monster. Spring them out, dude, hold on. That can't be right.
All the back taxes and the
Wow.
current taxes and then all of them.
Okay, well, that added up quicker than I would have expected. That's a pretty big number, at least private fan base pays that, so. Let's see, that would put it up for sale, last payment penalty, 5%. Got till June to avoid another penalty. That's $10,000, that's interesting, it's as high as that. Well, it's up to 12 then, total due for 25, pay 26 is 12,400 and change. So again, it's gonna be up for sale one way or another, and if it stays on the tax sale, then that's one way it's gonna go. You know, there's complications with tax sales. For anybody that may have known about tax sales, what happens is you can go to a tax sale and you can bid on it, and then the owner gets a whole year to pay you back with interest, so they can re-own the property. That's the way the tax sale business is. We have the ability to sell it at a sheriff's sale, which is a different animal. It's similar process, but it's a different animal, which means that we have the right to collect our judgment, which is in the 30,000. I was trying to look it up. I couldn't get connected. In the 30,000 range, which again, 30,000 plus 12, 42,000. Is that property worth 42,000? Or not? Which says to me, long and the short of it, is that somebody responsible will end up owning it one way or another. Because there's just too much outstanding on it. So I guess we wait to see what happens with the tax sale, and then we always have that.
along those lines, do we remember who put the tarps on the roof for us? I know we hired a contractor last summer or
That
fall.
was Mark Mangler, I think,
Mark
Yeah.
Mangler.
right?
Can we look at getting those tarps replaced? They shredded here in the spring winds and they're flapping around. We have neighbors complaining now, all the noise that it's causing. And also, Ron, when you have time, that yard is knee high now. It's getting in pretty bad shape, so we probably want to knock that down, make it a little more sightly for neighbors involved and everything. And we can't do a lot about it right now, but we can do those things, so.
I can talk to Mark, he lives
Okay.
right next door to me.
Perfect. Yeah, I don't know how much it would cost to replace. Looks like it's mostly just one section, but it is getting pretty torn up
Okay,
from the winds and storms and everything.
You're
Sounds-
probably not gonna get your money back for that.
Probably not.
Yeah, because we're already up.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, 'cause I've had at least 3 people stop me on walks and talk to me about the noisy tarps, and then we got an email today
Mhm.
from another resident talking about it. So it's becoming a thing. People are kind of tired of listening to it, so I don't know what we do to fix that or to correct it, but
Do we just
take them off,
Take 'em off.
let it rot. I mean,
Mhm.
I go up the ladder and take them off. That's fine with me, but yeah,
I'll see if you can take them down.
sounds good.
There's
Alright,
nothing we can do with that car.
Yeah, that's my question as well.
Yeah,
I
we'll,
think-
we'll have to get back in, get a court order on it.
Yeah.
If we want to do that, we can.
I mean, I would probably like to see that. I don't know what the council thinks of.
I think everybody, especially the neighbors, want to get rid of it.
It would also be visible progress.
Okay. Yeah, that would be
Todd, with that.
yeah. Yeah, it's frustrating one, no doubt.
I did along property stuff as well. I did email and talk with Bill Robinette last week about 504 Jewett Street and what can be done. He said he's gonna send an inspector back out there to
Sure.
determine the safety of that building or that structure to see if it can be deemed unsafe at this point. So we'll see. I don't know when that, I talked to him probably Wednesday or Thursday last week. I'm not sure if they've been out yet or not to look at that. He did say that he's been working with the homeowner for quite some time to get them in compliance with no real success. I'm not sure that he has any legal levers that he can pull to force them to do anything though.
Yeah.
So,
It's not, strictly speaking, unless it's structurally unsound, there's nothing out of compliance that I'm aware of. Ordinance. As long as we keep the lawn cut.
yeah, and I think we've convinced the neighbor to stop mowing the lawn so that we can get it out of it, like we can actually find them for that or put a cite them for it, things like that. So, but yeah, I haven't been down there to see what that yard looks like, but we've gotten a fair amount of rain here, so I'm guessing
Oh,
tall.
man.
So, I'll jog down that way, this week and take a look and let you run, let you not run. Yeah, that's why I did that.
Let's see, Pearson Towing, not sure what's going on there, we just have
Hey,
a
can I
contract.
address that?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Yeah, so the state law changed where we have to have a contract with a specific tow, or we have to have contracts for rotation, tow agreement. Is that something that I can send to you? Is
Sure.
there gonna be any problem with your office?
No problem, just email it on. And I was aware that the law had changed. Have you looked at it recently?
Looked at it, I think, last week, or
Okay, as far as a rotation. Is there
that's an option, so you
Oh,
can
that's the
either
option.
have a
a
direct contract
contract or
to specific, and I think it might just make more sense to have one.
get a straight contract?
Yeah, and then if we're not getting what we want,
Mhm.
then next year pick somebody else, so.
Okay, no, I'm happy to look at it. That's pretty quick.
Yeah, okay, I
Probably
appreciate
a
it.
2-3 page contract.
Yeah, it's somewhere over there. Yeah, you're from other municipalities, so.
Sure.
Yeah.
It sounds good. Be happy to look at it.
Okay.
And then on the police department policy manual,
Yeah, so we've got that. I wanted to give the council a month to look at that, and I think they have. And then, that's something that I can send to you. Take a look at it. I don't expect.
and these are
you-
SOPs,
These are just SOPs, yeah.
you know, it was done by whom?
It was actually a combination of a bunch of different, you mean the new version or the old?
The new version.
These were pulled from existing policies from other municipalities,
Okay.
or not municipalities, but police departments.
Approximately how long is it?
493 pages, I believe.
It will be questionable whether my input is gonna be worth the time that you're gonna be paying for here. And I will say that in other government entities that I do legal work for, I generally, unless they have a specific question, I generally don't look at their documents because they get it done by, you probably know the name of the service, Lexipol. Lexipol does this, I don't know, thousands of police departments. They got lawyers, I happen to know one, they got lawyers on staff that do it state by state. They, make distinctions between county and city and town, and so I've stopped looking at it now. There aren't any, since it's one document. It's not like they're just edits every so often. This is one whole, in other words, if it was one that was already in effect and it had underlines and line outs for changes,
So
that's a
this-
pretty quick review.
No, so this would be a dramatic improvement off of our old one, but it's separate policies that have been taken from existing agency
Understood.
policies to then, and then modified to our size.
I understand. I don't think it's worth your cost, quite frankly. Do you feel comfortable with what you got and the sources where they?
Yeah,
came from?
we feel okay with the sources. So the sources come from the
International Association of Chiefs of Police, their resource section
Understood.
for policies and forms, and so that's where it's.
Is there anything that was done that's not from one of those? Did you freelance on any of it to speak? of?
No, the only one that if you don't mind looking at, I would appreciate
Sure.
would be related to vehicle inventory,
Okay.
vehicle searches
And I'll have Kyle with my office, do it.
in the tow policy, just while we're at it with the.
Sure. If you just identify that, but I think otherwise 493 pays a lot of time. That's gonna cost you a lot, and I just don't think it's a good value for you. So you point out, send me the whole thing, but point out what you want reviewed.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
I'll have Kyle do that.
And then
How
if I.
about that?
I like that.
And if I could ask then if you, since I'll be sending you the whole thing, if you could just like skim the table of
will.
contents and if
Oh,
there is
absolutely.
something you think that would help protect us.
Absolutely. No, I'm happy to do that. It's just that it's,
Ultimately, that'll probably make
It'd be
your
a
job
lot.
easier later, you know, if
Uh-huh.
there's something like that, so.
well, and we can compare it with others that we've seen from other.
Yeah, I
cities
get
and
the impression
towns.
people rip from everybody.
Oh, I think, yeah, that's what lawyers do. And everybody, you know, there's no such thing as plagiarism.
Sign. Sure,
All
yeah, I appreciate it.
right, yeah, just send it on.
Okay.
Okay, so, any questions for me, Ron?
I think that's all I have. Anybody, anything helpful?
Pretty good.
Anything? Okay,
You just go home and have supper.
can I have all those?
Yeah.
Cause it's a long drive back, so 10 minutes back to 10.
Yeah, you could take it off.
There's little bags here. If you want to take some with you, so.
I'm gonna take it. Thanks, everybody. See you.
Sarah.
Take care. Cinnamons, that's where I'm going.
That's pretty good.
Take a whole tray.
There you go.
Okay. Moving on, to contract services. First up, we have GM Development. About the Hawks Nest. Project.
So that's Greg Martz. I don't believe he's here.
He's not here.
Online. This is-
He's not, I might have forgotten to send him the.
Oh.
Okay, well, we'll move on. I don't think we have anything from our, financial advisor, but we do have BFNS here.
Yep, so Chris Lemiak, Lower Karen Seifert, couple projects we have going on with you guys right now. The biggest one is that Gateway Sewer. So that's the one we spoke about a little bit earlier where phase one checks for the lift station at Woods Edge are being written by UMH to cover the construction, equipment and engineering costs associated with that first phase. The subsequent phases are in design right now. The next thing that you're gonna see in town is your geotechnical services mobilizing, collecting borings all along the proposed route. There'll be some pretty deep borings. Some of them are as deep as 50 feet. The steps we're coordinating with right now are right of entries with the affected property owners that will have a geotechnical crews on their property. So we're working through getting those procured now. May end up reaching out to Ron or Georgia to help with contact for a couple of those folks, but there shouldn't be more than 5 or 6 that are immediately impacted for that. Many of them are in the county or town right away, and then 5 or 6 of them are on one property. So don't anticipate too many issues with that. It should be pretty similar to what folks saw last fall and the spring when our survey crews were out. There'll be people who are properly notifying where they work, that'll be out there, so it should be pretty clear that the people who are out there are supposed to be there, so. We'll work on getting those notices done. I did receive preliminary drawings back from our electrical sub-consultants for the lift station site, so that's good news and another step that we need to progress to getting plans to Bowen for the GMP reports, so. I think geotech data is the last item that we'll want to have incorporated into that GMP set, guaranteed maximum price set. For Bowen to be able to be comfortable to put prices together for those, and then that pricing data will be shared with London Woody for them to be able to put together what your loan packages will then look like. So Gateway's progressing, getting payment from UMH will be a really strong point to keep your foot on the gas on that one. Other item we've got that we're addressing right now is the Shawnee Ridge Pond. At the last meeting, we gave Matt with Rock and Dirt a preliminary plan for the improvements there. Matt's provided us then with a quote for that, which we are reviewing now, and should have recommendations or comments on that in the next week or so. We're gonna share with the town to determine the path for addressing and completing the issues with the pond, and more specifically, the routing of flow from the collection system to them. Where the issues are. That was pretty short and sweet. Are there any more questions you have that you'd like me to?
I'll give you a Hawks Nest update.
Yeah.
As we told you last month, or a few meetings back, we were mobilizing the end of April, mid-May. We're about a week off, so we're mobilizing the week of the 25th to finish out, so. That's where
Do you
we're at,
know approximately how long that?
however long it takes. I'm not gonna tell you,
Okay,
because every time I have, it hasn't worked out, so I'm not gonna say this time, how's that? Not saying,
is it weather intended, like it,
no,
you'd be okay?
we'll be good now, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I
We
didn't.
got warm weather and
Yeah,
as long as we don't get the 2-inch rains, as we've seen that. Your guys' house is kind of down to
knock on wood.
that, real.
Do you have a secured electrician?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll be good.
Reason
David.
I'm asking is because last week we had a problem with Hawks Nest. And my electrician is retiring.
Oh,
Mike,
My
is he really?
his son's taking over.
No shit.
hopefully that's not who you have fired.
No, that's not.
But he did say to me, if Matt did not have an electrician secured, that he would come out of retirement just to get this project done.
Okay, that was nice.
It's good. It's good to know. It's good to know there's your thing.
Okay,
Next line, just to jump to the next one for you, Chad.
Yeah,
Next one
of
you
course.
have on here is Bowen and their report for Gateway Phase 1 payment. Believe the pay application for Bowen has been sent to the town. George, I don't know if that's on claims for today, but the check that UMH is cutting Friday covers the full cost of Bowen's.
It is on the claims.
But if you see a Bowen line item on that, that's what that is for. That's their work for Phase 1.
okay.
While we're on this, what's your intent on getting back to the board with Shawnee Pond? And you think, I mean, I know that we just started doing that.
Right, it'll be tomorrow or Wednesday when I get a chance to look over it in detail and probably go over any questions and clarifications with you. And then I don't know if Ron and another member of the council would be good to kind of discuss that scope and scale of that stuff.
While we're here, we want to get that buttoned up, so we're backing out and not have
Right.
come back across anything or somebody
Right,
else.
we're coming back on the week of the 25th. We
Yeah.
want to have.
We want to have, yeah, if we're doing it, or somebody else is doing it,
Mhm.
so. I think Chris is gonna go through a lot of stuff with you guys over that, because we gave him a very detailed proposal, so.
So I will commit to reviewing that tomorrow and follow up with the council on. What we think we should do next, or what questions I may have on any of those things, and copy Matt to that, so he can help when we've got questions, so please keep an eye out for an email from me tomorrow.
I'm good. Okay. Anything else? Can we move up? I'm sorry, I should have added this at the beginning. While we have you here, BFNS
Yeah.
here, can we move up a discussion about of course, this escapes me now, Greystone. That discussion right now, I know we have a few here, or a couple people here that want to discuss that.
Yes.
And so, just kind of where we currently stand with that. I know we've talked about it in our monthly sync ups for a little bit, but we haven't made any decisions yet at this point.
Yeah, so Greystone subdivision, that's a proposed subdivision, located off of 300 to the east of the Shawnee Ridge subdivision there. So we had attended a meeting with the county, Ron was there, and Dan from the Conservancy were there as well. That's been about a month and a half ago, with the role being to discuss utility services to that subdivision. This comes up because there are sanitary and water services available within 300 feet of the property. However, with the topography, there are a few challenges to getting utilities to that point, not insurmountable challenges, but challenges nonetheless. So the discussion we had, was discussing what the town wanted to do and what the conservancy wanted to do. In terms of either working towards providing municipal services for the site or allowing them to not connect into the town's, to the town's utilities and then have on-site on-site septic and well systems. So kind of discuss what connection to the town's system could look like, options for extension of a gravity main to get to the wastewater plant along 300 were discussed, and there's challenges in doing that. Another option that was discussed to a degree was looking at having a smaller lift station service that site and then pump to nearby infrastructure.
Mhm.
So kind of left to the council their decision on what to do next on that.
So does Greystone get a hold of us, or how does that come about?
It starts at the county level.
Okay.
One of the requirements that the county health department is going to have is either. Because the county health department is the one who permits or allows septic
Right.
systems or wells, they would want to see a sign off from the town saying, no, the town is not going to work towards providing utility services.
So eventually they'll have to come to us, right? Okay.
I think they have, the county has requested you to make a decision.
Oh, they have
Yeah.
already.
How many lots is it?
14?
Yeah, if I can make a.
Yeah, of course.
here, It's only 17 acres
17 acres.
and, right now, at least to get runoff from that field
Mm,
quite a bit already. And, we're the neighbors. And, it seems like, I've read somewhere, and I don't know what the law is. But I think it says you're supposed to have, if to put in a septic on a well, you're supposed to have the 2 acre lot. And, somewhere we've heard a rumor that, someone. We're not sure who, has already approved, apparently, the company, I don't know if you're a company rep for.
Oh, I'm Butler Fairman Cypher. I work on behalf of the town about,
Okay,
not good enough.
okay, yeah, and, you know, I forgot my pitchforks and. So I wasn't. But, you know, there's a question of the, runoff, you know, if they do wells and septics on one of their lots, on 14 1 acre lots. That's gonna have a heck of an impact. You know, maybe on our wells, runoffs, you know, and so on. So we're concerned about that.
And my property is adjacent to that field and very concerned about that. I think our property has the most in terms of runoff and excess water. And because that field is higher than our property, and our property is.
So you're
down. So
downhill
we
from
have
it.
2 rivers that run through
Mhm.
our property. When we get rain.
You put a lot of concrete and asphalt in there and boy, it's gonna,
It's gonna run,
yeah.
yeah. We actually said we were concerned about that. that
Mhm.
it's
Drainage
such-
is always a concern about.
And wanted, and if it's possible, we'd like to, get them on the city utilities. But it
The city of Lafayette.
It'd be the town
Yeah.
sewer and the town water.
here, but, it just depends on how we get our engineers to figure that all out, right?
Well, drainage probably is not, I mean, it's not gonna fall under us, it'll be the county, wouldn't it?
Well,
Drainage board will
so
look at
yeah,
that.
it's in the county, so the county would be the reviewing body for development plans, so let's give you a theoretical here. Again, this is
Okay.
theoretical, not, I'm saying anybody's doing this. Let's say that the town agrees to provide services to them, so the developer then proceeds with their construction plans for the site. That goes through a plan review process and a drainage board review process. Where an engineer appointed by the county, it's typically BFNS or Christopher Burke Engineering, would review those site plans and their drainage design for conformance with the county's technical standards and the county's ordinance for them. So they can't release any more runoff from that pre-developed site than what they do now. And in fact, they have a more stringent stormwater release rate. But the drainage patterns in terms of where that goes, whether it's released to the north, the south, or the gully kind of going down to the west, those release points would typically still be maintained. So the developer, their engineer is beholden to a set of standards that they have to meet. With one, how that subdivision is designed, it's got to be in keeping with the county, their development standards for how things have to be built. And then it has to be designed in keeping with the county's technical standards for stormwater management. So it's not the Wild West, they can't put in whatever they want. That jurisdiction falls to the county.
Well, let me, we bought our property in that area back in 2000, but we didn't build on it until 2014. The developer that sold our properties, and she's like a second generation owner, but I remember.
This is not China.
China Grove, yeah. That guy basically sold us the lot and they provided, a drainage plan and everything, but there was no enforcement that I'm aware of, nobody coming out looking to see where we went drainage. Now, I personally looked at the drainage plan and I actually had another surveyor that I came out and had survey the property to make sure the original survey was right, and I checked with the county, or I guess it's the city of Lafayette, anyway, the place they have downtown where you go and look at the plans. And it would have been real easy for me to take the septic mound, which was clean drainage, and run it back into the woods behind my house. That wasn't the drainage plan. So nobody prompted me, but I paid an extra $12,000 to run it down to, the stream where it was supposed to go, right across my property. What concerns me is if this guy just goes in like the guy that sold me the lot did, sells the lots, pockets his cash, and he's gone. And the homeowner isn't compliant. I mean, I'm not sure what mechanism is present to make sure that they don't just say, no, well, hey, Terry's got down slopes over to her property, I'll just run off down there. Also, there's a, and I don't know anything about aquifers, or not much anyway. But, we've got wells sunk in there that weren't there before. I'm sure the people on 300, when we plotted ours out there, go, what? There's gonna be 7 more houses back there, what? But they're on 2-acre lots, and we've all put in septics, and to the best of my knowledge, everybody has built it. In accordance with, we're kosher with all the rules that we're aware of. But there's nothing to say that somebody won't do that. So I guess what I'm looking at is, we've heard the rumor that the waiver has already been granted for, wells and septic, and that's a great concern for us.
Well, I think what we've heard is, correct me if I'm wrong, Jim, and Andrew Perry said that he had heard that they had granted a waiver or an exception to some sort of rule that you have to
Rural
have a
subdivision, that's the 2-acre.
Okay, that you have to have a 2-acre lot in order to put in a septic and well system. Is that correct?
I don't know if that's.
I can interject because we just literally went through all this. My name is Rachel, it's my husband John. And we bought the 10 acres right south of the church over here on 225. So I will guarantee you that the county is very particular about drainage. And I actually call Tippecanoe County Pond City because there's ponds everywhere. But anyway, there is a lot of safeguards because we've had to do multiple soil tests and borings, and it's not like someone can just say, well, yes, this is what the piece of paper says. And then the every individual owner cannot, they have to pull permits. And If it's
The
rural,
developer has to pull a permit. so
no,
if
the
he
individual.
sells the lots.
Mhm.
But what if he
Whoever
sells-
builds the.
Whoever builds has to.
But if he sells a lot to somebody that's an acre and they come in and they're not hooked up, what choice do they have but to build a septic and a well? And-
Right, but they still have to build it in
Yeah,
compliance.
it's-
with-
It'll be inspected. It'll all get inspected.
Well, yeah, but I mean, if the 2 acre lot is a requirement, then.
The 2 acres is only for a rural estate. You can put a well and septic as long as it's 35,000 square feet. Okay,
Yeah.
and then the well has to be 50 feet away from the septic. So the 2 acre rule thing is only for if it's zoned RE. Everything else, if that, I don't know what that acreage is, I think it's zoned ag right now. They'd actually have to get a zoning,
There's a sign up for it right now.
yeah,
It's
very,
in Shawnee right now.
yeah, so I
For
don't
the
know,
rezone.
I don't know if they're gonna do R1 or RE. But that will determine exactly,
I
What
think it's
route?
R1.
I think
if
it's
it
two. I
goes
think that's what's on
R1, then it will. They're gonna have to ask permission, just like we are. Are we hooking up to city, the town of Battleground, or is the town? Cause your ordinance dictates,
Which is why we're here.
well,
the.
anyway, so. Anyway, those are kind of like the parameters, if they're doing R1. I'd be grateful if they're doing 14 lots on 17 acres and not 28 lots.
There's a lot of stuff that there's
Or you don't know.
there's safeguards in place now for the development as far as runoff and stuff like that. I mean, speaking of that type of thing right now, we have that little bit of that issue in Shawnee Ridge right now with these folks here. You know, there's safeguards where when we do a subdivision now, we have to go through an as-built and topo everything, provide that documentation to the county, saying that the pond will hold X amount of whatever the flow is. The ditches have to be all as-built. All that stuff goes on to the county so that it gets signed off upon to where they can start building it. Now, the flip side of that is, however, once the developer signs off and sells the lots and hands them over to the builder, 9 times out of 10, what ends up happening is, to your point, who says that Mr. Builder doesn't come in and do something different, which is what happens because they put these foundations in and we have to have side ditches. When we build the subdivision, okay, they have to be specific. But then the builder comes in, they do the foundation, all the dirt that they dig out of that foundation and scrape off for being able to put the rock in, where's it go? It goes in the side ditches and they fill that in. So then you guys, anybody in here that has bought that house, now we have drainage problems, right? Not necessarily everybody wants to go back and say it's the developer. It's not really the developer, it's the builders that aren't paying attention to what's going on after the fact. So,
There's no as-built for a builder,
no,
like,
for the developer, yes, but builder, no.
I mean, there just isn't, I mean.
It's wild,
there's
wild
an
west.
Inspector, but there isn't, yeah.
You know,
But what you were saying is that, and I guess I'm concerned too, not only about the drainage, but you know, what's gonna happen to our well system? I mean, when there's 14 other,
It shouldn't be effective whatsoever, because again, it goes back to what she was just saying. You gotta be minimum of 50 feet away with the well. Your septics are only so big, and that's all dictated by the soil borings for the septic and then the locale. No factor.
does it affect the amount of water, the water pressure, or?
No.
They account for all
No.
of the concrete, all the sidewalks, all that as part of the footprint of the subdivision for drainage. And they calculate all of that runoff and, you know, that's on our particular project, that's why we stopped at a certain amount of lot. Because if we surpass that amount, then we would run into a pond, and, you know, we're having to do a lot of different things, so. I'm guessing that's maybe why they did 14 as well.
Well, I'm guessing there's clearly financial incentive for the developer, you know, putting money into it. You want to make the most you can. And, you know, I understand that. But again, you know, with the aquifer, I'm not a hydraulic engineer, but it seems like, you know, the more wells you put in, the quicker, you know, it could be, and of course they get refilled, but you could actually lower the water table in some of the earlier wells that were drilled. You know, not so much by my group when we went in there and built. But some of the older houses in the area, you know, maybe their wells aren't so deep because when they were built in 1940 or 50. You know, that could dry out their well and they could have, you know, there could be an impact there. I'm not sure who's looking at that, but I would be grateful if you could tell us what this hydraulic board, or, you know, what they're called and contact information for the people that are doing these surveys, and so we can kind of voice our concerns directly to them rather than just.
So it's the county health department
Yeah.
that issues permits for wells and septic
Kevin.
systems, and they have a very.
There's lots of people out there that are gonna make sure that you're
Yeah.
okay.
I have two questions. First of all, is there gonna be an entrance into Muncie?
Off for Grayson.
I don't think so.
Second, why not require them to annex if they're gonna hook into our systems?
I think there's actually a financial benefit to the town to annex those homes, is there?
Yes, that way.
You know, that would seem. to solve
No,
a lot
there's
of
not.
our
I
concerns.
didn't think so.
You don't want it? Town doesn't want it? Or can't?
Well, because of the maximum levy concept in Indiana, that would
That's quite-
provide more assessed value, but it won't provide revenue.
We'd have to provide more service.
Yeah.
Yeah. I understand. We'd have to provide more services in the,
With no additional revenue.
yeah, the number of homes in there, I don't think could offset what our services would be.
No.
Bit negative.
Could you then offer the opportunity for the rest of the area to be annexed? Don't you have to be adjacent to annex?
You're an expert on something.
Well,
You have to be
we didn't get services unless you annex, period.
No, you can provide,
You provide services at 150%.
yeah.
Okay, thank you, that's all.
Briefly before that question, you were saying Kevin. I mean, is the guy to talk to at the county health department, Kevin who, and you got
Oh, Amador,
sorry?
Amador, yeah.
Amador.
Kevin Amador.
His contact information should be available on the.
Okay,
Super nice.
unless you guys have it available, you know,
Mm,
because I'm lazy. And my computer just broke today.
Oh,
Right, so back to what we were talking about, so what do we need to do, where do we need to move with these folks? I mean, obviously, we need to get. Compensation for extending utilities there, we have to understand what they're looking at and. Stuff of that nature, I think we're probably early on that, aren't we?
The decision on whether or not you're gonna provide sewer services to them or grant them the waiver to not connect needs to be made fairly soon.
30 days, less.
I don't recall when the next meeting is going to be.
The 20th. Is a meeting. That it can,
Next week.
I don't think we're gonna make
We
it.
don't have that, yeah, no.
I thought that was. I know our paper was due June 18th. No.
And that's when it's due to
Yeah.
get on that.
Or
agenda
June
for the-
17th.
This is primary subdivision approval. Public hearing will be held on Greystone subdivision, May 20th.
That's the area plan. So I mean, the pros and cons for hooking up Greystone to battleground utilities are what? I guess I don't understand.
Would be additional ratepayers into our sewer system. It would help us in that regard.
But it would be also trying to recover the costs of the installation and the hookup.
Are there others that are interested in hooking up along?
The reality of it is if we did that up through there,
One other right now in the area is interested in hooking up to.
isn't there something though that if we put service in up there and if there's wells and septics are there, we have to tie in.
If there's a failure to a septic system and then there is nearby municipal utilities available.
They'll
The
tie to that.
county health department general does not grant a permit to rebuild a septic system. If there's a utility nearby, that's what we can.
is the developer under any obligation to finance the help finance.
Help pay for
Yeah.
the utility extension from the town. There's grounds for them to have a cost share in that. Yes.
Because that's the only way that you could,
Yeah, absolutely.
maybe
Um,
bring some pressure to the guy that's trying to,
What we're trying to decide right now is if they were to sell lots with a well and a septic, how much would that cost versus building a new lift station, a small lift station up there? Would that be roughly the same cost? And so if we could do that, we could tie them into our sewer, our sanitary sewer. And water system up there,
is.
is kind of where we're at. And we need to make a decision.
Developer isn't at this meeting, so.
Yeah.
So the next step really is to set up a meeting with that developer to be able to have that conversation.
Who's the developer?
Um,
No,
You got.
yes, it is, Fairfield.
it's,
Who? I'm sorry.
is it really? Dave,
Sure.
Dave Kirkhoff?
Fairfield? Kirkhoff. It's, Kerhoff.
Hey, thanks for coming to the meeting.
Yeah, you've been generous in speaking up.
I'm getting married, or it's not.
Where do you hit over 50 years, man? You're getting
Well, I'll be there next year.
Like 50 years you've been married?
Oh,
Come on.
no, I thought.
Oh.
50 years old.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
He looks 30.
Yeah, I was gonna say, no way you've been married 50 years unless you got married when you were 5.
And you don't look for
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So but it was kind of, and I guess you couldn't find anything on Amador, but I.
Oh, yeah,
Got his name.
yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
Okay.
Does that help, Chad?
It does very much. Thank you.
Do you want us to help reach out to that developer for a meeting? Would you like some?
If you could, and it sounds like we're gonna have to try to make a decision prior to next Wednesday ahead of area plan, because they're looking to.
Well, and that's just when they're on the
That's just,
agenda. That
Yeah.
doesn't mean they can't get pushed to the next. meeting.
But it wouldn't hurt to, sit down with somebody ahead of time. I mean, things usually don't get better if you let them go.
Well, I can tell you right now, depending on if the septic is just a mound, if it's a mound, it just depends on what the soil samples have said. They collect 3 samples per lot. And, so probably wells around 6-ish. And you're talking maybe around 12 to 15 for septic. So maybe 20 grand times 14 lots. Ish.
It might be better for the developer financially to just pay to get the tie-in and pay for the.
Right. Yeah, there is, from what they've told me, there's no, if water is available and septic isn't, it's not like, you can't force one over the other. So for instance, let's say, they can do septic and water is available. Okay, except for the town of Battleground, okay, because you have that water ordinance. But typically, the county will not make you, if there's sewer service and there's water service, they can't force you to do both. Cause I've thought of that particular person myself with APC and with capability on that. But in our instance, one is available and one isn't, so.
But it's best not to have a mix, I take it, from both the developer and housing.
It's really you have to really think of septic and water as 2 completely separate entities. It's yeah.
I'm sorry, I just one additional question. Will this new lift station pump into the existing Hog's Nest, which is already having difficulty keeping up, or will it go somewhere else that can handle it?
It would not be recommended that it pump into an existing portion.
they go to the plant, or that's how it'd have to go to the plant.
There's a sanitary sewer on Muncie, but this is something that it's too early to try to design that.
Okay. Thank you.
And you forgot that number again? Sorry.
Would BFNS be willing to get a Zoom meeting with the developer
Yes.
go and see if we can get
Yep.
that set up. I'm talking about the town meeting with them to discuss the utility stuff, but I mean,
Could we come,
I,
or would that not be appropriate?
we could have, with the committee met with them, we could
Right.
allow them to join. No?
No. No.
I'll leave the pitchforks and torches at home.
Sorry.
Yeah.
No,
The initial meeting,
no, not.
Yeah.
no, it's kind of the APC meetings where that's the public forum.
Right.
Typically.
We would actually make the decision at the APC meeting whether or not they would be,
Right.
all that would happen. I am, oh, sorry.
Yeah, you've got our concerns. and I'm sure
Yeah.
You're,
I'm also the Battleground APC rep, so I sit on the area plan commission as well. And so I'll be at that meeting as well. Yeah, no, they'll seek Battleground input when it comes to this, and I'll be allowed to
Go to.
make comment.
It's at
oh,
the
we're
bottom.
planning on that. Just didn't know. Okay, this is for,
It's next Wednesday, 6 PM at the county building.
yeah, oh, I know, we've already got it on our calendar.
Assuming it's for this month, it may get pushed to June, we'll see. But yeah. While we're here, though, I know that these two in the back are here about Hailstorm subdivision, right? Or
Yeah.
Stargazer Lane.
Yeah, there's
And
storm, that name was like
Okay.
86.
so yeah, when I was looking at
Name.
documentation, it was
Stargazer.
yeah, I know you guys are just seeking a letter from the town saying that you cannot hook up to sewer, correct?
Correct.
Okay,
Yep.
and I'm going to work on that tonight and get that to you guys, because we have a force main running right there. We can't connect that. So we will I'll draft up something basically saying that we are at this point unable to provide the sewer utility to that area. So, all right.
Your building do.
We've already talked to Dan, but after this, if you could just mark on here kind of where we would tap into the water.
That would be dash.
And that goes
Different
to the
group,
conservancy, Dan, Gimme. Yeah,
I know he did send one of the gals that he's texting him or emailing him. He
Yeah.
sent her word that.
yeah, he took some photos, of the land. And, I guess I just had a couple of questions, like tapping into a force main, that sort of thing. Yeah, so I'll talk to him about it.
Are we ready? Is that, yeah, all you guys have,
Yeah.
okay, perfect.
Awesome, see.
Yeah, I had a pretty idea what she was here for, so I was gonna go ahead and address that and get that moving. So, okay. Georgia, I think we're ready for you. We'll keep moving on here.
Well, that segue is the claims, which the top line on page 1 is the Bowen Engineering,
Mhm.
now in the voucher, $231,717.35.
40%
That
of the
one
monthly
hasn't
claims.
been written yet because I was sort of hanging back to find out if we were gonna get payment from UMH. So that I could keep it, put that money in the bank and keep it in the utility instead of one of the other funds that you had already approved to be temporary loans. It would be easier not to do that. So I haven't actually written it yet.
Okay. It helps that you may actually.
But
access some check.
it's on the register so that as you look over these and approve them, it'll get approved and I can send it out as soon as possible.
Excellent. Okay. Do we have a motion to approve claims?
Make the motion to approve the claims for April 14th through May 11th.
A second.
Motion by Matt Kopic and a second by Aaron Munn. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. All right.
Progress is being made on the fund accounting software. So that's. And I'm gonna ask Chad and Joe Klein to review that with me and bring you recommendations at the June meeting. There are 4 companies that I'm considering, and they all have various strengths and price tags. We talked at the last meeting about excess inventory, and Ron had a truck that he wanted to liquidate or otherwise get off of our books. And if we're gonna advertise the truck, we might as well advertise any other excess inventory that we have. Haven't heard from any of the department heads about that, so at this moment, it might be just that I have some equipment here, some old towers and some old monitors. I was gonna talk to Chad about those. So there's a potential that there would be some old office equipment, but I don't know that there's really a market for those. Because they are old.
Depending on how old is it, I mean, yeah, you might get pennies on a dollar for it,
If
so
no one bids on them, then I think we have the clear
I can,
to take them to recycling.
yeah, do we need a process where we record serial numbers and items like that, since it was purchased by town funds, that we would declare it worthless and then,
That's why
It would
I'm
go off.
asking the department heads to bring in whatever.
right? Because we need to document what it is that we're declaring as salvage or worthless before we destroy it.
So we'll put that list together, we'll get it advertised, you'll have the list with the Zoom meeting, and we can make a declaration on the other materials, or we can take sealed bids that night, whatever your pleasure is. You know, if you wanna approve the list in advance, or I can. I just don't have anything to give you about that right
That's
now.
fine, that's
But
fine.
That would be the desire to make that happen for June to get the.
I think we're on the same page there, though. So,
You know, we need an up-to-date inventory list too.
yeah, that'd be a good thing to take. I mean, really,
What do you mean, what do you mean up to date?
Well, any new purchases or whatever, last year, whatever. that year,
And I did that.
You have, we're still working on parts of it because there are assets. Which are over $750 purchase cost, and then there's inventory. And so right now, we've got the assets pretty well covered. We're working on inventory. And identifying what we own that's really not on the asset list. So you paid for software a couple of years ago, and we've got that pretty much working for us now.
It shows the depreciation.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes,
Yeah.
because we have to report that every year with our financial report. So I feel pretty good about where we're at. There's a lot of holes in it with serial numbers and actual age of the item. We know when we bought it, but we don't know the age of the item. So there's things that we could clean up, but it's getting better. It's getting better. We added a couple people to the Menards purchase list. And we did the credit card. I added Jansen and I added Fred. So we have a department head and a second for each department that can go and make purchases.
good deal.
The credit card cash advance, there's a little list in your packet about. We had a duplicate, somebody punched the button twice and it hit the credit card 2 times. They actually did reverse that.
Oh, okay. I see that.
They didn't do the expense, the transaction expense, but they at least put the duplicate transaction back on our credit card. So that cleaned that up. We can go forward with it, and I think BJ was very thoughtful to give us a payment to cover it, but I'll be giving you a check back. We won't-
So just because take advantage of being a public meeting, so what do I do with that amount then? If the town doesn't catch that, then what would I do with that amount? I'll work with you on it. So they put it back already.
Yeah, the
Okay.
credit card got it back from the Venmo vendor.
Oh, I see, okay.
And I put the recent, like up-to-date appropriations. You got everything in your email, but you only got general fund and MVH. Are there any questions about expenses? Our budget line's a little overdrawn for street signs, but we can fix that. We may need to buy some more,
Yeah. Okay. No, I'm, from my standpoint, I'm good on that. So. Okay,
That's all.
thank you very much. We'll go ahead and move on to our police department, sorry.
But I gotta get my notes up. Okay. First, I wanted to let you guys know that there's a kind service being done by Mike Owens. He's put in a Dropbox for the police department, that for things that are more police related, people will be able to put things in there, including Mike. He is using his materials to do that. It's coming along. So I just wanted to thank him. Note on grass enforcement for the ordinance. We don't talk to people when the ground is wet and when it's raining, because that's a great way to start an argument. Usually the next line is, how do I mow in the rain? And we explain that's not what we're asking, but still. So, but rain has the other effect of making the grass height go up very quickly. So we'll be enforcing that on once it dries out, a dry day. Also a reminder on easement access. The easements that are put in place are not for public access, and so we want to be really careful that we're not giving the impression by the police department or the town that the public can drive onto easements. Those are still very much private property and will be treated with trespass laws with private property if they're seen on there. So I just want to make sure that we're being very clear on that with any message that we would give to a member of the public. What's that? Yeah, so examples be like, thank you. Yeah, people walking dogs, running dogs around, driving vehicles back on it if you're not part of that easement agreement. Or just taking a walk back there, that's you're actually walking on private property. So also with our body cameras, our car cameras, and Tasers Little Bad is bundled through an Axon package. Axon is updating their software, and I'm announcing now that I will be planting the seed that I'll be giving the board information about what that upgrade would entail. They're wanting to essentially rework the current contract into a new contract that would extend that another 5 years. We haven't completed the current one, and so I'm not asking for anything. I'm just informing that more information will be coming. Also, as we go through and we're trying to upgrade and get things to where we need, I have a request for evidence for a camera or camera equipment. I'm requesting up to $3,000 be pre-approved for evidence camera equipment. The reason being that we obviously need good equipment to be able to take pictures of things at a scene. Our evidence technician is currently using personal equipment to do that, because that is the best that we have available, and it's better than what we currently have. And with I don't know how much exactly it would cost, but I'm requesting up to $3,000 to at least get us the camera itself. Storage is ridiculous right now. Chad could probably speak to that, being in IT. So we'll see that letting up in the next month or so, probably next few years. So that is an ask of the board.
So I'd like to make a motion to provide up to $3,000 for camera for evidence for the police department.
Second.
Motion by Mary Jo, second by Steve Hahn. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Motion carries.
And yeah, that's definitely gonna be great for us. We do have a contractor that's preparing a quote right now for us for 107. What that would entail. We found one more contractor that is willing to come out and give us a quote. They haven't yet. It's apparently a much better business to be in than we are, because they're busy. So my question would be, or ask would be, that we need to probably be very familiar with current legal requirements on if we can't get a third bid, but we can show that we've had numerous, and maybe there's people even here in the gallery can answer that, numerous bids that, or numerous requests that the vendor declined to bid because they're busy. What would suffice that?
Have you got two already?
We will have to, but I think, probably between Chad and I, we've maybe reached out to 4 to 6. We've reached out to a lot, of other vendors who just said we're just too busy.
Well, if you can't get a third one, I think two would be enough.
Well, I just want to make sure we follow along.
No, I agree. I just want to make sure that
That would show documentation of who you reached out
Yeah,
to.
Eric can probably answer that more clearly, but generally you have to solicit at least 3, which it sounds like you've done.
I have emails listing
Yeah,
at least 3 myself.
Documentation that's.
Okay, I assume we are not the first people that have ever run into this problem, so, okay.
Neighbor's phone number.
They also, just updating forms and things, we've created, due to recent need, we've created a golf cart registration inspection checklist. I'm going to give this to the clerk's office to see if they need any additions or corrections made to the payment part of it. But I would also like to put this on our town website. That way people know ahead of time what's required, so it's not so mysterious. But this will make it a lot more smooth for us. My question to the board is, are you still wanting an annual fee for compliant golf carts? It's $20.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think so.
And so you're wanting and the reason I'm asking is it requires an annual inspection. Our fee is $20. Getting ready to go meet someone, doing the inspection and then coming back will probably be around an hour of officer time. That's around $28 to $30. So you'll lose $8 or so doing this inspection. And that's why I just want to bring it to your attention.
I don't know if it's a losing type of situation. It's keeping the ordinance in check. That they
So
have to
yeah,
be able
and to clarify, everything we do is a financial
Right,
expense.
Absolutely.
With us. I just wanted to be able to give you guys the
Well,
opportunity.
I think if they get inspected once, that would be fine.
So this
And
would,
then they just renew it every year.
well, then that's what I think you need to discuss. And I'm
Would
not
it
saying
be
do
just
today.
a renewal, or are we doing an actual full inspection each subsequent year after the initial?
It would be a renewal.
If that's a renewal, then that would just go through the town if there's no inspection.
as long as it's the same vehicle or golf cart. You see what I'm saying?
It'd have to be the same, but without doing an inspection, we obviously wouldn't know that, so. This is maybe not a topic for today. Yeah,
What are you looking for? Like, what would stand out to you if somebody had a golf cart that wasn't up to? Like,
well,
but you could still like stop them and be like, hey, you know.
yeah, so there are different things. They don't have, they have to be roadworthy, so they would have to have brake lights, tail lights.
Okay.
Turn signals that function, brakes, are nice to have, in general.
Frank Flintstone.
Yeah. So, we currently have a requirement for a sticker. There is no actual sticker that's been issued. If you want that for the number of carts that we have, which is, I could cut off fingers on one hand and we would still be okay. Then, we can just record the registration number. If you want to keep that sticker requirement, we're gonna have to order something, for that.
I think it could just be like a piece of paper or something, right? Do golf carts have golf cart permit?
Yeah, they could.
Yeah.
They should, yeah. And that's fine. That's again, another expense if you wanted to have all that printed in.
But if you only have this many
Right.
cards,
Yeah.
you
No.
probably know each person personally.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it becomes a thing, then
Where it stands right now, I don't know if if it rises to that, but
if we become a Boca Raton or something, then we'll have carts everywhere.
Or Brookston.
Yeah, or Brookston, yeah.
And they need to know too, that they can't go out here on
So that's a part
Sure.
that's part of this
Around
form too. If
600.
they're gonna cross a highway, it has to be done at a 9-degree. Perpendicular direction to get across. You can't, actually, there's not just that, there's multiple roads that they're not allowed on. But my question was more about the annual requirement. Do you want another inspection or review?
I think once they get it inspected, let's say they get it inspected tomorrow. That's good for a whole year, that inspection. Next year, if it's the same golf cart,
re-up your.
just $20 and they're good to go for the next year.
Fair.
What do you say? That's my opinion.
Yeah,
I mean,
Georgia, Georgia, you have some payment?
Well, you were talking about a sticker or if we take a fee and we issue a receipt, there's gonna be a dated receipt that has a tracking number on it.
Like that receipt can be their registration, so to speak.
Yeah, that's, as long as it's a piece of paper they can hold on to.
Yeah.
I
So
think we need a
they
sticker.
indicate how much they
Yeah.
paid, what it was for, they'll have a
Mhm,
receipt number.
Right.
mhm.
Either-
So, yeah, so we revised this to add that requirement. That's not on the ordinance itself, that they have to keep that receipt with them. But if that's
Oh.
what you want to do, then that's just how we would enforce it, but
We can also amend the ordinance too, to
you can amend it.
indicate you keep your registration, so to speak, with you.
Mhm. Great, yeah.
Okay, just thinking, golf carts can be a touchy topic from what I've heard from town to town, so just wanted to bring that here.
Well, I'm wondering if we put the ordinance on the website, everybody then.
And so the
decides to go
inspection
do it.
checklist that we made too, I've actually included the ordinance verbatim at the end of that, so it could be ripped off and given to them, but it also would be online so that they can see it, and then that way residents aren't figuring out what they need, aren't calling us to figure out what they need, and then they have to come back again, they can see all of that on here as well, so.
So you all haven't even gone the direction that the clerks lists are. They're worried about all the other letters, the ATV, the UTV,
Oh,
whatever.
Yeah.
Are these allowed in town if they're not?
So I can answer the ATVs part of that and the UTV, they're you like a four-wheeler is what we're talking about, those kind of things. State law covers that in terms of like you can't have that on a public roadway. You will get it towed and taken away inside it if you do that, so.
Any
What about-
any road?
Like
Yeah.
the gator and stuff like
Any
that.
public road.
So the UTVs
Public road,
would,
town.
yeah, any public road for those golf carts that are registered with the exception. The UTV is a very good question that the town board itself would need to discuss. About like Polaris Rangers, I mean, some of those are
more
pretty
utility kind of.
close to a vehicle already.
You mean
Not really.
like the ones that Purdue?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
We haven't
start
addressed
getting
that
into
at all.
the
Hasn't come up yet. but I
planning
think-
Yeah, I mean, do we want, we have an ordinance committee now. Do we want to task the ordinance committee with updating our golf cart ordinance to include UTVs as well?
Say so, yeah.
Well,
And also change our registration language around that?
If you're going to, when you change your utility rates, you're gonna have to pay for the advertising to do that, so you can
Right.
do everything at once. So
At that point in time, I'd say.
I think it's a good idea, but yeah, I think you have maybe time to update it since we're
Works for us.
in agreement on something else now.
Oxford out there.
So,
And he's gotta have one on his UTV, it's got a registration and stuff on the UTV out there.
Okay.
It's
before you
Oxford.
go on. and have-
yeah, the sticker does, you're right, the sticker does make for a quick identification as well. So,
Yeah.
it sounds like that's something a committee can work on a little bit.
yeah, we now have an ordinance committee, so we can address those items.
Okay.
Georgia did have one thing before we move on.
Yeah.
That she wanted to bring up.
Well, I'm going back to getting the quotes for remodeling at 107 North Railroad. We haven't really talked about a max price,
Mm.
like we're asking people in the construction business to spend their time doing a lot of quoting. And we don't have an approval for an amount. We don't have even an approval for a construction project there. You haven't ever addressed in this meeting whether or not you're gonna approve any expense, let alone having three professionals spend their time giving us numbers, and I'm a little bit sad about that.
Did we end up getting the drawings or whatever we were getting?
We had the drawings, yes.
Okay. Did the folks that provided the documents give us an engineer's estimate or a architect's estimate or whatever you want to call it?
No,
That's in- yeah.
no price associated with construction costs.
I will say though, that the contractors are made aware before they provide a bid that there's no guarantee that we're trying to get an idea, it's kind of a chicken and the egg, right? How do you approve a price if you don't know what the range is? How do you?
Most of them are getting free estimates anyways. I mean, I get it.
Yeah, but we
It's
definitely-
overhead for us. We bid hundreds of jobs and we may not get it. So I mean, it's
Part of doing.
part of doing the business anymore. Yeah.
But usually it's for a group that thinks that they're gonna do it and.
We all like to think we're gonna do it 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I don't feel bad if somebody gives me an estimate on something and I don't use them.
So our goal is to make the board as informed as possible before a decision comes. I certainly, not promising anybody anything, but I don't know how you'd be informed without something like this and.
Yes, the people that did the drawings gave us some kind of a
No. Just
Rough order
a scale drawing, so we have something to go off of, so.
It's gonna, I mean, whatever data you're getting right now from contractors, it's gonna be real world data. I mean, it's not gonna be something that, no disrespect, Chris, but sometimes engineers just throw darts at things.
Well,
Pretty sharp for us.
Sometimes.
sometimes the target's really big.
It's sometimes small.
Yeah, one more thing. Tip Canoe and Sherman. I don't know whether they clean their mess up on their own or you did. I think I told you about it last month, Fred.
Yeah.
All that junk, it's cleaned up. I want to thank you guys if you did it. Yeah, it looks a lot better.
Like, oh, yeah, I just wasn't. It wasn't an issue.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now just move up Sherman Street, about 4 houses,
Yeah,
where they park in the yard and they got all that junk there.
oh, it's 400?
I think so.
Okay.
Right next to that big brown, big gray house there in the corner.
Do you think
Yeah, but I wanna
sometimes
thank
they
you guys.
hide when they see it coming up the sidewalk?
No, they never do that for us.
That's good.
I want to thank them. Cleaned up.
Yes.
Fine, just to wrap this up, we have upcoming one officers going to ARI training, the next 2 days. That's advanced roadside impaired driving enforcement, basically drug driving, which is becoming a very much increasing problem. We're seeing less alcohol impairment, more drug related impairment is the common trend here as well. That is a free training that's put on by the state, so there's no charge for that whatsoever. Bart Cole will be attending that the next 2 days. And then just to plant the seed of the first notice, so I'm sending Chief Deputy Townsend to drug recognition expert training in there'll be 2 weeks in July and 1 week in August. That is also paid for by the state and as well as his hotel mileage and per diem are also paid by the state. So it's a completely free training. The state's invested a lot in Battleground PD, particularly for those programs for detecting impaired drivers from controlled substances, which we appreciate them doing that because that would be a very expensive class otherwise. And they have also given us grants for equipment as well, at about 5,000 a piece. So
What dates are there?
what's that?
What day?
I can't recall the exact dates in my head. I can let you know. It's 2 weeks in July, 1 week in August. You know, assuming he passes. It's tough for us. So that's all I have. I was actually gone instructing that exact course in Florida last month. And I heard there was some discussion on the SOPs. You've had a month to look at those, and so I would just say send any questions that you have that you're welcome to address it here.
I think they're kind of in the.
So I think
Sticky notes.
for me, it would be better if I just met with you personally,
Yeah,
because they're my questions.
sure.
And that way we don't have to waste the time of all
Yes,
these
that's
wonderful people.
Just to summarize, I will point out that I think watching that meeting, I think there was a fairly significant misunderstanding of the purpose of what those are actually for. They aren't anything that the town creates or the courts create through law or anything else would trump anything that we have within those policies. So I saw the town board, where supervisor authority mentioned in those notes. We don't list that because these are internal controls of the police department. So these don't give us extra abilities. They put constraints on our abilities, and they're very specific to how patrol works or how interior functions within the police department, only affecting how the police operate and do things within the department. How those would be expected to work. The advantage is it provides a better officer, a better working knowledge, which only reduces risk to the town. But again, the town council is not mentioned in all of those SOPs the way that you don't mention the governor during your ordinances as well for, you know, grass side or something really makes sense. So that's essentially the ideas, and I apologize for not explaining that better before. So before I tasked the chief deputy with presenting this to you. So, but that's the idea. These are interior controls of the police department. Do you have anything? Okay. Okay.
That all? All right, well, thank you. Ron, utilities and street?
All right, the first thing I have is, I did take the class for phaser training. And I passed, so
Excellent.
Greg Jones is off the hook now.
Did you say taser?
Taser?
Taser. Oh,
Hazer,
getting excited.
Oh,
Mine pays if you don't pay the bill.
The second thing I have is, sometime in June, I would like to schedule a meeting with Steve Hahn and Chad.
Okay.
To sit down with Jansen. We kind of need to figure out where we're going. He would like to know, he has several questions that him and I have discussed. He would like to get a direct path for the transition
Okay, what is it? Him moving into a full-time role, what that looks like.
to be the certified operator.
That's what I said, he's gonna have full-time there, we're gonna have to think about hiring full-time for him.
Right. Cause yeah, once he's through all of his hours and everything,
And he will be too busy with
So-
what he's doing.
right, to be
Just so the,
right hand.
just so the council knows, he has passed his test. He has gotten all of his hours.
Oh, okay,
He has one class left for you.
Oh,
excellent.
He's done very well.
He's done very extremely well.
Proud of him.
Several people, he's had 2 people in his class drop out. And
It's hard to pass.
two of them have had to take it the 3rd time. To finally pass it.
Is there enough work for him full-time at the wastewater plant? I mean, we're paying somebody part-time right now, so.
No, well, that's one of the things that the council in the past has not understood. You're paying 2 people. All Scott does is plant.
Mhm.
Scott, within his company, has hired another guy to do all lab. They do lab testing off-site because they do 6 communities. And he's got a certified lab that he can do 6 different towns.
Mhm.
So what we're not seeing is the other guy off-site doing all the testing. So, I mean, just the BOD is a 7-day test.
Hmm.
It takes about 6 hours to set it up. He's gonna have E. coli, which is, 20-minute setup, but then it cooks for 24 hours.
Right.
Ammonia, just all the, so yes,
Plus whatever comes out.
he'll probably have. My best guess is he'll probably have an hour free per day. The rest of the time. I am gonna step back a little bit. I did tell him, there are a few things that he hasn't experienced. He has the force main break. And I told him that I would step in on situations that he hasn't had to do. Because I won't put somebody in that's never done.
Absolutely.
I'll go first. But, so he wants to get a direct path. Scott did show us the first, wasting.
Right.
So he kind of has the start of that knowledge. So.
Okay.
On
Yeah.
that, it's second, third week, June.
Let me know.
Second week probably better. I know I got a vacation plan the third week of June. So maybe a little less available.
The next two things I have are at the plant, blower 5 in the, digester building, has went out. It went out this winter, late fall. We need to start thinking about a replacement. We do have 2 other backups, but it's always good to have the third one, just in case we need it. It's gonna be around $6,000. The company's coming from Fishers, Indiana. That are the providers. The other thing I want is, we used to have a 2-inch Gorman pump, trash pump. It got damaged. We sucked up the rocks. That's gonna be right around $3,000. I sent it off.
Diesel one?
Huh?
Not the diesel one.
That's gas, the little gas 2-inch,
You want, how much you want?
about $3,000. So they have our old one, and the parts to fix it are just a shade under one brand new one. So it just makes sense to get it out.
Okay.
We have that coming up. That's all I think.
The first one that you talked about, the $6,000, what was that again?
It's a blower pump.
Blower pump?
Yeah.
Sorry, I wasn't listening real well.
My pen quit working and I'm glad you asked.
Still on the door.
We must,
So do we want to move ahead on that blower pump then?
I think we should move ahead on the blower pump.
We need a motion for
Yeah,
a budget money.
I was gonna say we're okay on budget as far as that goes. Georgia,
I don't have
You're not
anything in
sure.
front of me, but I don't see how you can.
not fix it, right? I'd like to make a motion to propose $6,000. Up to 6,000 for the repair of the blower pump. Was it number
5.
5? Thank you.
Second.
Motion by Mary Jo, second by Steve. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
And we'll hold off on the trash pump. That way I can get exact numbers for you.
Yeah, put that on next month's.
I'd approve up to $3,000, but you're probably gonna spend about $1,500 to $1,800, because that's what we're buying for all day. I'm looking online right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
So
you
maybe,
can get a three, you can get a 3-inch for $2,000.
maybe I need to put the pinch on
Yeah.
Bob Hyatt,
I would.
but he might be telling me wrong.
Yeah, it's gotta be, there ain't no way. I'm online looking right now. Set up.
Okay, anything else, Ron?
If I have any questions for me.
What's the pacer test?
Hazer.
Pacer test.
Every year the town has to turn in grading of their asphalt.
Mhm.
And concrete roads. To LTAP at Purdue. They punch in all your numbers. And we have an Indiana map. And it grades the whole state of how we're doing, how we're performing as a state. And plus you have to grade it every year to be able to get federal money.
Okay,
I can.
Tell me the range,
yeah,
tell me
It's
the
a
range of your numbers.
pavement surface analysis rating or evaluation rating is required for by NDOT for CC.
Yeah.
okay,
Paces rating.
You need to be on that database.
Okay.
Rating to get. federal
Like
money.
48.
Gotcha.
We paid a lot of stuff.
One to
CCM.
Ours are
Gotcha.
mostly 8.
good,
Yeah,
that's great.
So basically, the rating is 1 to 10.
Mhm.
A 10 is a brand new road that you just did, base total rebuild.
Mhm.
One being, there's craters in it that will swallow a Volkswagen. The base is gone, it's falling apart. We do have some, maybe 4 or 5s, but we've done fairly well. I mean, it shows with the money that we've gotten
Mhm.
every year we've applied for.
Yeah.
That's how. So we're 6, 7s, and 8s.
Okay, right, thanks for that.
4s, 5s, and 6s are usually prioritized and scored by or out of, yeah.
Okay,
Well, have you
Seven,
heard
nine,
anything from the insurance company
Okay,
or
thank
whatever
you.
for that fire? And that car burned up there?
I have not.
Okay.
They haven't contacted me.
We have a case number. But
Okay.
that's all I know.
In case the council hadn't heard, we had a car catch on fire in Fox Nest. And BJ got good times.
No one was injured.
No. Good. So it kind of, it scorched our road a little bit. Left a
Yeah.
little bit of rubber tar for tires on it, so. We got a little speed bump there.
So we'll go ahead and get that fixed and then turn the bill in. The insurance company when we hear from you.
There's a case number, that's all I know.
Yeah. I'd rather instead of spending money.
Yeah.
I'm worried if we spend money to fix it, we won't
Right.
get that money back either.
Mhm.
Right.
So
I'd rather
okay.
hear from the
Refresh it
adjuster
there.
first.
I
Don't think so unless you know anything about solar.
I do have one question. So, last week we were at Hawks Nest, for about 5 hours. Yeah. We walked over and looked at the new wet well. I'm kind of confused with the layout on the lid.
It's just sitting on there.
It's not oriented where.
No, it's just sitting on there.
Okay, but it's got a hatch. And then, so is the little hatch or the downpipe going? The downpipe should be going through holes that are cored.
Yeah, we got cord. Yeah. There's two hatches in it. I don't remember why.
One of them is sitting outside of the enclosure.
Yeah.
One is inside the enclosure, so you can access through both points, and there should be three openings in them. I was trying to figure out how you're gonna get the unit sitting on top there with the.
It doesn't sit all the way on it. It sits partially off of it. If you look at the design, yeah.
Yeah, it's not.
It sits all the way on it.
That's kind of risky.
Yeah, we pour a pad on the side of it.
Okay.
It's on, it's partially on and partially off.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense, cause I looked at it, I thought 6x6, there's no way. Yeah, for sure.
You are correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, go look at the valve vault too, because it's got multiple in it too, and I had to sit there and study that one day too. I'm like, this don't make no sense.
This line's on paper.
I know, it is, yeah, goes back to that throwing them darts. Hi Chris, how you doing?
All right. Yeah, I don't think we have anything else for you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chris.
All right. We now are going to move on to area plan items. Which this month we do have a solar ordinance that came to the town. It's passed by area plan in April. Ashley sent it out
Mhm.
the end of April, I believe. The ordinance was pretty long, but did you guys have a chance to look over that at all?
sort of,
I can kind of give you the high points of that and
I've gone to sleep 2 times on it, so it's.
so there's really 2 scenarios here that we discussed. Page 4 of that. Of that ordinance had like a table that was pretty easy to, or made it easier to look at. A lot of what was centered on was setbacks from what they called I guess, let me back up one thing. This is for people who own large property, primarily farmers, if they wish to lease their land to a solar farm. They could do so. And what this ordinance does is forces certain setbacks from non-participating properties, so residential properties near that farm. How many feet step back we have from their property line to where the solar field begins. It also limits how large these solar fields can be. Or they call them solar energy systems or SESs all the time in the ordinance. So in a large scale, which is no larger than 400 acres, large scale solar energy system. From a non-participating property line, they have to have a 500-foot recess from the nearest one. So that's for solar panels and mounting devices. For solar inverters and transformers, it's and so the way this table reads too is it's how many non-participating property lines border that. So if it's one, it's 500 feet. If it's two property lines, it's 700 feet. Three property lines is 1,000 feet off each one. And if it's four, if it's surrounded by on all four sides, then it's 1,500 feet. They are to be set back from non-participating property lines. And then from a minimum setback from the right of way for mounting devices, which would be the brackets and the panels themselves, it's 50 feet from a public right of way. And if it's inverters and transformers, it's 100 feet from the public right of way that it has to be set back from that. And then there's community scale, which are much smaller developments, and those are just 25 feet all around, no matter how many property lines surround that. And then the off of right of way, it would be based on the zone classification of the road and everything that it sits on. So that's kind of the high level stuff. There are there's a lot to it. I mean, really, we were there we discussed the area plan for almost 4 hours that night. It was going on. So there was a lot. Do we want to make a decision on this tonight? It did pass area plan. I believe it was a 13-3 vote. 13 for, 3 against.
I think we'll vote for it tonight.
Are we ready?
Fine,
Yeah,
I'm not a fan of them, so it doesn't
Yeah.
matter. I'm not a fan of the solar fund, period.
well, as long as it gives some definitions of what they're allowed to do and what they're not allowed to
I
do.
think it's more the long-term impact of if something happens, because
There is language in there about that too. So
I read through it.
emergency management stuff, there's requirements by the property owner of right of ways for emergency vehicles, all kinds of stuff. So if something were to happen, how quickly it needs to be cleaned up should a windstorm or tornado come through and tear up that field, how quickly that needs to be cleaned up and addressed. All those kind of things are addressed in this ordinance as well.
Is there anything addressed about lithium and all the chemicals that leach into
into soils.
I believe there are required soil tests, but I don't think this ordinance speaks directly to that. Yeah, there are
Allegedly,
also,
after if one of these fail or something goes to shit, you're undercutting like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 feet out, and you gotta take it to landfill.
Landfills.
Yeah, okay. So that's the part again, I haven't done any research in it, but that's why some of them got shot down. Because
So where do they take the solar panel once they're?
well, so the land, the land is leased, so the company that installs them, it's on them to take those panels away. Right. So what's that?
Unless they go.
Well, so there's language in here to protect it. What's that?
20 years, there's so many years.
It's 30 years, yeah.
Yeah.
They can go up to a 30-year lease. It doesn't have to be a 30-year lease, but 30 years is the maximum. There is language in here, if the company were to go out of business and the lease were to be picked up by another company, they must follow the same contract that was signed with the original
what
company.
happens if nobody picks it up?
You,
No,
You'd have
they have
to
to
clean up.
dispose of it a certain way.
Yes,
But
yes, there's requirements. They have to dispose of it with, all government regulations.
And like
that.
return the land to like it's, yeah.
Landfills.
does everyone know life expectancy of a windmill or a solar farm is 25 years?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, my cousin just sent me an article on all the blades that they had to retire and where they're stored.
They were busting them up in Wolcott or Remington at a place, and the insulation or not the insulation, the styrofoam in there was just blowing everywhere. It just made it absolute.
Yeah. Okay.
I believe for the record, this is UZO Amendment 126.
And then ordinance number 2026-661. Is that?
Yes, I believe so.
So I'd like to make a motion to accept Luzio Amendment 126 or ordinance number 2026-661. You aren't gonna do it, I know.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay,
Thank you.
motion by Mary Jo, a second by Aaron Munn. Any further discussion on this? All those in favor? Aye, opposed? Opposed, okay, so we have three in favor, or 3 ayes and 2 nays. Okay, motion carries.
So this does not have. The way the county gives it to us does not have
Way we voted,
column for
No,
no. So I guess
write it
you
in.
would just not sign.
not sign it for your nay vote.
If you voted nay.
It's
you
fair.
would Just not sign.
Do we just put nay next to our name?
Yeah.
Well, there is a space, so you could say. you could do that.
Yeah, put nay next to it, just put 2 columns and.
Yeah, just add some.
All righty. Moving on, I'm sorry, redevelopment, that'd be
So.
Bill, correct?
Yeah.
Alright. We got to you.
We met and, the group decided that I'm now the chairman. That wasn't a very good vote. We did, I not to Travis Hunt. And he is interested in being appointed. And since we've got a vacancy, I'd like you to take that into consideration. To appoint Travis Hunt to the redevelopment commission as a appointment from the council.
Thanks.
I personally, having met him, I like that, so.
But y'all think that's a good thing, then I'm in favor.
It was at that first meeting we had between the RDC and the council. We talked to him there quite a bit about that, so we want to make a motion to approve his appointment.
Was it Travis? Right.
Travis Hunt.
I'd like to make a motion to accept Travis Hunt as a member of the RDC.
Second.
Motion by Mary Jo, second by Matt Kopic. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
What's the name again?
Everybody knows Ted.
Travis Hunt. His father was Ted Hunt. His wallet background.
Okay.
If you know that one.
I didn't know there was an RDC.
Yeah, so I think right before you joined the council, we've only had one meeting.
Okay.
With the RDC, but basically talking about our economic development area.
Great.
And we worked closely with them on
They've been,
all that stuff.
they've been active for a few years.
Mhm.
RDC.
It was a real productive first meeting, I think.
Yeah.
Good.
So. Yeah, anything else? Nope, okay. All right, we will move on to old business. So high school street sidewalk, I know that work's gonna be in June, correct, when school lets out? And then I'm assuming that this means the resident notification has gone out or is about to go out?
Now, enough information to send it out. We need to have a plan with the vendor. About
Okay,
what
when,
they are gonna expect. To happen so that people who park on that street have to make alternate plans.
okay,
So we need to have some more specifics, but we do need to notify people that it's coming out.
Okay.
Do you think the school would let them use part of the lot for a while?
Well, school will be out.
Yeah, school be out.
we can talk to the principal and see if he's good with that.
Yeah.
Baseball. yeah.
Well, the other one,
And I
elementary.
think also the one that has the trailers and the backhoe and all that, I
Yeah.
think he needs a place to park over the school with his big trailer and.
Do we have to talk to the principal?
We go, that.
You want to do that?
Contractor.
Yeah, he
I
lived
thought the
there.
principal make sure that everything's fine with that. They're not gonna
He's
remove
on-
the parking
on
lot or something like
the-
that. So
Right.
make sure
Oh
it's
my
not-
gosh, yeah, that would be a mess.
Yeah, I just wanna make sure we're
Yeah.
not stepping in the way of that. That'd be, from my standpoint, probably the only thing that would.
Mhm.
You have a better relationship.
Carrie has a PTO meeting on Thursday, so I might just tag along with her and ask that question over there. So,
If he's got a really heavy trailer, you might want to ask him to use a wood pad or something. But because that can really damage asphalt.
Asphalt, yeah.
Yeah, and that's easily done, I think.
Okay.
Is that contractor gonna let you know a couple weeks in advance before he starts? Up there on high school, so we have time?
Yes. It's gonna, right now, it's gonna be, at this point, it'll be a pinch, but. Figure it out.
You win?
It's gonna be a pinch. James is his own patients.
Ron, do you want me to reach out to the contractor or would you like to about what's needed from residents in the area?
I can.
You can, okay. Perfect, thank you. Alright. So. Okay, next item on the agenda, new town hall, just planning and development. I think last meeting we made the decision that we're going to look to 43 is going to be our future town hall location, or they're behind Starbucks, not the Gateway Drive, whatever. Is there anything new at this point to add to that, or?
I think that we should also have the conversation about the police station. We talked about. George, you mentioned like we don't really have a firm plan. I think we need to make sure we're including either the police station with the town hall, or if we're gonna separate them somehow. I think if we're gonna talk about this discussion, we need to talk about that as well.
That's a good point.
I don't
Do you
think we
guys
should-
have any ideas, yay or nay? Because what we'd like, in my mind, this is just me, I would like the police department to be with the town hall, have a separate facility, but right with the
On the
door
same-
to-
Make kind of like a
No.
municipal
And
campus.
that way we could give you guys a new facility with everything that you need instead of trying to do something with this building down here. And if we did that, then we could sell this, and use that money towards more things that we need for the town hall and for the new police department. So it's something for you guys to think about. I mean, and plus, we could still, if you needed to, because we'll still have this place, right?
We stuck technically on.
And so this could be another landing spot if you needed it for some reason, but we'd really like you to be in the new facility.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to give an educated response today.
Yeah.
But, if I can have a little time to.
I think that's something that you want to think about.
Yeah.
I think some of it too, it'll be interesting to see how these quotes come back too, just to kind of see what that
Right,
looks like.
we need to sit back and look at the whole picture too.
Right.
As far as this goes,
Right.
so I think it's important to leave everything on the table at this point,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
but
not,
it's something to just, I guess, either have a dream or a nightmare about. Let us know what you think.
Mhm.
Okay.
Georgia, did I thought you mentioned a month or two back that we had someone possibly that was gonna try to do, give us like kind of a plan for what a new town hall would look like up there?
Not a town hall, the park.
Oh, the park, okay,
We were trying to
okay,
find a way that we could minimize the effect of a deed restriction
Okay.
on development there.
okay,
And having a park along the border with the commercial area border with Whale Ridge would help that, would fulfill that.
Okay.
But also give us a public space that we could incorporate with your civic campus
Okay.
concept.
okay, so, yes.
Just this afternoon, Todd Starr has a plan, to catch up in the whole situation. He has met with,
We'll be able to show that.
he's gonna meet with the Tecumseh and their attorney, Eric, but, because he's sitting on both sides of all this.
Sure.
But, Todd is basically attempting to fix the major issue with why Tecumseh can't sell the land.
Okay,
And, by a joint endeavor, which could possibly be the town plus Topeka Township. We can invest in a process that opens up that land to be correct. We the redevelopment commission will be meeting with all of Tecumseh again. And we're trying to make some progress and set out a plan that would be successful. As you look at the entire TIF project, and I don't want to take a lot of time, but in order to finance the entire sewer project, I need about an 80% capacity of the redevelopment commission taking the TIF money out of all that area in order to take the burden completely away from the town.
I mean, this, I trust the RDC to do the, you know, because I have full faith that we can pull this off. I think we can do it. I'm glad we're moving forward in this now.
Has there been any other movement on the stuff on the west side of 43 over around Quick Trip as far as any of that other potential development that? Not yet. No.
No.
But Quick Trips is making major progress. Yeah.
They're moving now, yeah.
They're moving now.
I figured once it started, it would go. When it did. So. But,
No more news on the potential hotel or anything of that nature? Not at this point, no. Any talks with anybody at all? Yeah, good, that's what I'm doing. The issue is, how necessary it is for them to obtain the TIF revenue to build the hotel. Yeah, and that's any of the multifamily stuff in that same arena. Yeah, okay, that's it.
no, I appreciate it. So, all right, on to new business. We have the Human Resource Committee met. I'll let Aaron and Steve take lead on that stuff. And go from there.
Yep, we met and we kind of identified a couple of pain points that we've found, and I believe we addressed those, one of them being the seemingly hiring of people without the council knowledge, particularly with the police department. So we decided to maybe talk to the council about a hiring freeze, just so we could kind of call a timeout and regroup and kind of get with the police department, with the marshal, and find out kind of what his strategic plans are, what his goals were for the department and his staffing needs, you know, and how to determine whether or not those were warranted and needed and when. So when we talked to BJ about that, we sat down with BJ.
Yeah,
And
we
we had to-
already got a 3-year plan.
Yep, and he showed us the 3-year plan, which was great. It was exactly the missing piece for me and what the bigger picture was. And I think Steve was happy with the plan. BJ answered all of my questions and then was able to prove kind of where there was maybe a little lapse in communication about those hires that were in question. So I don't know if a hiring freeze right now is necessary. You've indicated that there's no money in the budget to hire anyway. And it does seem like you will need to be hiring somebody in your department at some point. So I don't know if a hiring freeze is something that we need to talk about right now. But I would ask that you do share that plan with everybody, because I think that was really great. And I think that's really beneficial. And like I said, the reason I wanted it was so when you do come to the council with requests for hiring, we can look at it and not question you. We can look at it and know this is in your plan. Yes.
Just to clarify for the record, so with that, there was the evidence of having communicated multiple times with the board before hire, is that correct?
Yeah, and if you share that with the group,
Yeah, I just want to make sure we had it out there, we just spelled that myth, so.
yeah,
Okay,
it's in there. So,
Okay.
but nobody has it.
yeah,
So share that presentation with everybody.
sure.
And then Steve, you want to talk about the safety equipment that we,
Oh, for the street?
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, we need to get some safety equipment for you. you and Jensen. Uh. Maybe some shirts, whatever, with nice yellow or, and with name tag.
Yeah, we were
with
talking
the
about
name on it.
getting some vests.
That way, if you got identification on you, if you go up to a house, they know who you are. So, it's easier, running up there in just a regular shirt.
Right.
Or walking around the house or whatever, they know who you are around the property. And we need to start wearing safety glasses. And all that, and you mentioned you can do safety. Have the badges or ID number or ID.
We have an ID card printer, yeah. We
Yeah.
can use that.
And that would be nice too, for them to have IDs. Even something to hang around their neck or something, if they can.
You would just need to be told what needs to go on it.
Yeah, and for the purpose of interacting with the public on their property.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it would be necessary to, when you're driving around where
Police
you're.
department don't need one, I mean, you
Yeah.
up there with your gear on, you have a gun, they don't need one, but I think you do.
Well, we do have an ID badge, yes.
You do?
Yeah,
This is your picture on it?
yes.
That's
Well,
fine.
that works.
Yeah, I don't
You don't wear it?
wear it.
Can you wear it?
That.
Can you wear it? If we get you some nice high vis vests.
Here's somebody, right? Sean, you'll probably.
Doing something like this where you put it on your belt loop. That's what I
You
did.
did.
That's like with us, I mean,
No,
you got,
No.
would you guys like to have an ID? Or whatever, I mean,
I just come
It's
here.
very easy to do.
The picture.
But if we do go look at something at someone's house that they ask about, like, we're not just some looky-loo that's snooping.
Yeah.
Can we circle back up with, we needed this with Jensen, what was the timeline on when does he's done with all his stuff?
June.
He has one more class in June.
We probably need to be thinking about getting something out now, because as hard as it is to hire. Now, cause if not, I mean, we're gonna be behind the 8 ball trying to, once he gets moved over there and starts doing that, I mean, I know there's gonna be a transition period, but we
So once
probably.
you got at least another, maybe a. couple
6 weeks,
months
maybe?
before you-
Anything will be done with school. But the reason I wanna meet with Chad and Steve is we need to figure out what we're doing. I mean, we
Yeah.
have to, we're gonna have to do a timeline and we're gonna have to figure it out.
Yeah.
Because Jansen needs to know. Where he needs to go on this.
Okay.
I mean, he has the backing of the alliance. That if at some point Scott decides not to show him anything else, the alliance will step in and.
But I think Matt's right, we need
Yeah,
to get on it about.
Trying to hire
Get
people. right
somebody
now.
out,
Start now.
interviews or whatever.
And Ron, for my ignorance on my part, because I don't know a lot about utilities, would you mind creating a list of all the things that you and Jansen currently do? And then like, once Jansen goes full-time at the plant, what responsibilities he'll have, what you have, and then
Okay.
what's currently uncovered?
Can ship you the job descriptions that they have and that will
Yeah, help fill in some of those blanks for me, because like I said, I don't want to be ignorant in this process. I want to.
Ron did that process when Jansen was hired, he went through that process and.
Right.
Okay, great.
Yeah, job description. And I
And I
just,
can write down some of the things that we do.
That's fine.
the Areas that we do it.
So I just want to do a good job. I want to make sure that we get the right person. I want to understand what
Right.
you guys' needs are, so.
don't forget that the Alliance has reimbursed the town for his wages for the entire time he's been in this program.
So,
Plus he was able to get a three.
but we're,
Three $5,000
an investment though.
Yes.
We're gonna have someone very qualified to do that job, so.
That was-
At the end of this.
So I think we, I think Ron and I did a good job.
What's the job title that you're looking for? What's the position that will be open once it's, general laborer?
Whatever Ron
I
needs.
should take jokes out of that.
Thank you.
And other duties as assigned.
I think Ron and I done a good job on Jensen.
Yeah.
We hired him, he's an
Seems
exception.
like a sharp kid, so I'm proud of him,
Yeah.
so.
Probably, I would feel more comfortable after the three of them talked for sure, and got a plan.
What? You used to do some vacation when?
Like third week of June.
Oh.
I mean, I'm willing to meet whenever.
Maybe before that.
We can meet this month still, if you like.
No, Dan's will be gone for 2 weeks.
That's right, you said he's on
Okay,
vacation.
yeah.
Okay. You get married next week?
Talking about.
Yes, and then email addresses for the counselors or town council. Does Jansen have a background email?
He does.
He does, okay.
Yeah,
I say if he doesn't, we want to look into that. Are there any additional that we would need at this point, or are we covered if the council has addresses? Is there any other employees that we have that don't have an email address that we want to add to this?
I don't think so, unless you want to get one for the deputy clerk. Right now, we have one email for billing and
Billing
we're
clerk.
using that because we share that.
Sure.
It's a group, it should be free.
Right, okay, so I could add an additional one. For 4 additional emails, I sent you guys an email, I believe it's a shade under $100 for the remainder of this year. Next year will be like 148 for a full year, it's actually a cheaper license than I expected. So if we proved up to like, I think 120 for this year, we should be able to get the Ashley, right? Get her and then get everybody else covered with email for the rest of this year, and then we'll coming up towards the end of the year, we'll readdress all that for the year following.
How much would it be?
It'd be 120 will cover it. It's $99 for the rest of the year for 4 email addresses. So if we,
So.
right.
Yeah. Build that in.
Oh, or
so why couldn't we just expand why doesn't that work? Why can't we get what she's doing?
well, so
So I can answer that
Yeah.
question. Our council president and Ron and the superintendent were always, and the police town marshal, were always on the county. And they gave us just that handful and they never billed us, they just paid for them. But I think that they're looking at their budget and getting leaned on, and the more addresses we request, the easier it is for them to say, well, you just need to pay for all of them.
Oh, so we're not
that's-
asking to add the people, we're just,
we're just gonna pay,
taking-
we're just gonna pay for those
we're taking-
licenses for them, and they'll create the accounts and manage them for us. Nice thing about their email is that it's 100% compliant. We fall into a
okay,
like any kind of like public record request, they'll be retained, they can be searched. all
no,
that
I
stuff.
agree, I think it's,
So I think
Spam filters
Yeah.
are great.
Yes.
I mean, it's.
you're not gonna get bombarded with a bunch of email. You can, it's Outlook, so you'll be able to set up rules and do what you need to, it'll work out well.
no, I think that's I think it's a great idea. I think,
So I emailed the director of IT of the county and he sent back the numbers. Like I said, it's a pretty cheap license and it's just email. That's all it is on there. There's nothing else.
You need a motion for that then?
Do we need one or are we just fine?
We'll just go ahead and do it.
I didn't know if you want to make a motion to approve the money.
It never hurts to have a motion that you all agree that this is the way to go.
Approving that, at least approving the idea of town emails and budgeting for this year, probably less than 120 for sure, but 120 will for sure cover it.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion to spend up to $120 this year for emails for the council members
and Ashley,
and Ashley
And then deputy.
and
clerk.
deputy clerk. Yes.
Second.
Right.
Got it.
Motion by Mary Jo, second by Steve. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay,
thanks for doing that, Jeff,
yeah, of course, it's.
that's a good idea.
I
Is
sent-
it-
sent-
Which one was another email address?
No,
Yes.
I just ditched one, I ditched the Gmail already. It's
Yeah, motion for that. Okay, so, in late April, I believe, the community committee held their initial meeting. I think that was pretty productive and went pretty well. We came away with it with some ideas. The first one I want to bring up is town newsletter. I sent you guys kind of like a working draft of what that could look like. I had lots of different templates planned out and none of them were working out nearly as well as what a Google Doc did for me. The nice thing is that a Google Doc is fully ADA compliant. So we don't have, it will work with a screen reader. It scales on a phone. If someone reads it on the phone, I can put alt text on the images, which is required for ADA compliance, that kind of thing. I can do all those things that way. Also, that logo at the top, that is not anything official. I asked ChatGPT with a few instructions to make me a placeholder logo. So that is not,
She's been kind of working on one
Okay.
Canva, so.
it's fine. And
She should share that with the council.
yeah, that will get replaced. Like I said, that's more of a placeholder logo at this point. And just some things going on. Ron, I didn't ask you this month because I had one for you already, but I'll probably like each month, the idea is coming to you and BJ for police for tips for the town. The first one I put in there for you is don't flush flushable wipes.
Thank you.
Because I know that causes you a lot of problems.
Or socks.
Or socks. I figure socks is obvious, but
Yeah,
No, it's not that obvious.
no, it's not really, not to everybody,
anyways,
to the tune of 20 pairs.
right.
Oh, shit.
That's
From the same source. Or really?
It was stuck in the same pump.
anyways, I included that one for our initial one, as the first tip, but I would likely come to you. You know, it could be a seasonal thing for you too, like things that we deal with that time of year. BJ provided us with some nice things to go along with it. And then I would just solicit information from the council about what we have going on and things we could add in. But what I want to do is look for a motion to proceed with a newsletter. If we're happy with the way it looks and we like the kind of information we're sharing, if we want to continue down that road.
I think it's a nice
So
idea.
Chad, I do have one thing. We did put out on the website, we did do leaf pickup this spring. We've had about 6 people put them out the week after. After we said, we'll pick up this week.
So things like that can be added. We can
Yeah. I
quick
mean,
things like, leaf pickup at this date, be ready for it. I tend to be like a monthly kind of thing, so we can definitely get it updated with monthly information about happenings in the town, but also things to be aware of like that. So I found it better than a social media presence where
Mhm.
that tends to get pretty negative pretty quickly. Aaron did secure access to the bulletin board outside the convenience store where we can post
Oh, no.
like a QR code people can scan to get a copy of the newsletter on their phone.
I gotta get the beehive out of it first.
Thank you.
So
I'd like to make a motion to proceed with the newsletter with is it community committee? Yes.
A second.
motion by Mary Jo, second by Aaron. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion carries. Okay, next thing that we talked about, they're called a lot of different things, but, something my wife has been wanting to get going, is a little lending library here in town, something you set up outside where we can get going. And working with the church, they've agreed to allow us to use the area by their parking lot on College Street to place a library, pending a utility locate. We're gonna locate there, make sure we can dig a post and things like that, make sure we're not gonna cause Ron problems. And so, pending that going forward, they've donated land. We'll donate labor to build this thing and we'll seek donations of books and things like that. The community committee wanted to see if the council would be willing to buy the supplies to build the library. I got plans for one and I priced online using prices from both Home Depot and Menards, just kind of get an average price, and I kind of threw those together.
I have books and books. for
Right.
you guys.
I figured there's people, we have kids' books too, it would be both adult and
I do too,
Yeah.
so.
so. Let me find my email so I can get the, yeah, it was close to 4.
We're saying 400, not 4,000.
Not no, it was like $383 is what was gonna
Yeah.
cost for all materials included.
Yes.
To build one little library, and so I want to seek a motion from the council to budget that money so that we can do that.
I'm not right there.
So I want to put make a motion to grant the community committee $390 for a materials for a free library.
I second.
Motion by Aaron Munn, second by Mary Jo. All those in favor?
I,
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
sorry to put you on the
Okay.
spot.
But I don't do it because I've never.
And then one last
Phrasings.
thing that we discussed, we haven't, I don't think there's a firm plan on this yet, but initially we had community gardens as something on there, but no one wanted to manage a community garden, so we came up with the idea of a community farm stand kind of thing, where people that have extra tomatoes, extra things from their garden, they can just donate those to the stand and other people can come.
Is the church still doing that? They still doing their monthly thing in the summer?
I don't think so.
Okay, sorry, I just.
No, you're fine, you're fine.
That location has been where Dan Hall has been with his sale.
Oh, okay.
And so,
They're for sale. Yeah.
Aaron did secure some stainless steel shelves to do this with.
Oh, nice.
And we're still working on a location of where this would actually be and that kind of thing, but something we definitely advertise once we're ready for it, but that is something that it is in the works, so nothing for the council at this time, but something that we are working towards to, like I said, just build a sense of community. It's a low effort, high impact thing, I think.
Yeah.
For the town, so.
Would there be any benefit to co-locating it with the line and a little like that?
I mean, we can speak with the church about it. The church also asked for a bench to be there, which we don't have plans for yet, and we haven't discussed how that's gonna come to be, but we do to get permission to move forward with a little library, but all said and done, the church is asking for a little library and then a bench to be next to it. I think they want to commemorate the bench in a certain way.
Yeah, several attractions in one spot.
You have a bench?
Green ones. I have one out the street one.
Hey,
There you go, see,
nice.
we're always seeking, again, yes.
We were kind of thinking it would go like closer to the downtown, where it's visible, more visible for people. Yeah, that's what the thought, yeah, but we don't have a spot, so.
Bad food in there, okay. That's a good point, we didn't think about that, but Bill mentioned talking to insurance about liability about like bad food or something like that in a town sponsored farm stand. That's probably a good point. Yeah, that's worth considering too.
Okay.
As far as that goes, but like I said, we haven't, no firm plans on that yet, but it is an idea that we're kind of working through, so. But yeah, I think that's all we have for the community committee. And then we have a tree removal on 308 Yale Road. Okay. Okay. And I mentioned to you, right across the street from my house, there's a tree that's all of a sudden starting to look awful dead. Like the bark just started like, just last week, just started falling off the tree and
Is it on the park side or?
it's on right in front of Ward
Ward's
Taylor's
place?
house.
Yeah.
The bark fell off and it's dead like 6 feet up on the stump. I'm really nervous it's gonna fall on this house.
Is it on the street?
It's on the right of way. And so it would probably be the town's responsibility to take down, but.
It's pest removal. If it's termites, he should have taken care of it.
Well, to be fair, it's on the side, it doesn't face his house. I was literally sitting on the front porch swing Saturday morning, I saw it, I'm like, is that rot all the way up that tree? Like,
Oh, that's scary.
I have something really quick. I just want to make sure we got them. So we're not gonna do ID badges. That's off the table because everybody has them, right?
Jason doesn't have one.
So how did you get your ID badge? Can you get Jansen an ID badge? Is there anybody else that goes to residential?
Do it part-time too, Josh?
I would say if they go on anybody's property and ask them to do anything, they should have them.
I basically have my part-time guy, he's just mow, weed, eat, and pick up, trash.
Well, if you think he needs one, then I guess for the reasons that we're saying.
I just make it across the board.
Right.
Sure.
I think it's employee
Okay.
policy, just everybody has a badge.
And then we're good to go with the safety wear.
So what are you looking for on the safety?
I think when we talked about it, we talked about just having the high vis vest with the battleground logo on it. I mean, that's the difference.
Well, we also.
Or a t-shirt.
Yeah.
Across the back that says
No, so
Upper
the
Right
reason
there.
I'm asking is Quick Trip is underway.
Mhm.
I have to do an MS4 inspection on that. One of their requirements is that I have a high vis vest. Mine is no longer at the sewer plant for whatever reason. I went to get it the other day and it's not there, so.
So what are you saying? You want high vis and
Well,
t-shirts?
I'm gonna go get one at Menards because I need to keep up on these inspections.
Okay,
So that's why I'm wondering what exactly we're striving for.
I think just let me go
Get
down
one
and
that
use a
we do for right
background
now
employee.
until we figure out. what-
yeah,
And then
I
just
think
the high
go
vis.
get what you need so you can
Just for what
continue to
you
do your job and be effective. And then we'll work on getting
Okay.
logo things for your
They're like
department to wear.
$15 at Menards.
Come to the shop, we got bunches of them, they don't have anything on the back, cause we had to get some just You just take one.
Lafayette down in the street department, the vest with Lafayette,
Yep, they have little patches
And then-
and screen prints,
I
and whatever.
even on the back.
Georgia, you mentioned maybe that your staff wouldn't mind having maybe some polo shirts with the logo on it too, so, or that's up to you.
Yeah.
One person, okay. Yeah, I would.
But, you know,
And then, I mean, you guys don't need anything, like when you guys go to training, do you wear battleground?
Yeah, we've got older ones that we wear. We could certainly use new ones. I just don't want to
Like,
create problems buying them, so.
like polo shirts or what?
Yeah, fully for the embroidered, battleground badge on them. That's what we currently have.
Oh, you have, okay,
See, Chad's got one on there.
yeah, pretty well fit one.
It's very similar to that is what we use, so it's part of our.
I like them when they're embroidered. They look
Yeah,
more
this-
personal.
and you have them or you don't have, everybody has them?
Just-
Embroidered too.
Is
We've
it?
got one officer that
It's
does.
20 bucks
yeah,
a book,
that's
yeah.
part of our uniform.
Yeah. Okay,
Awesome.
So.
okay,
Breakfast does a great job.
Yeah, they
I
do,
think-
don't they?
So-
yeah, we talked about that. I just wanna figure out who needs it and what we're getting.
So I want a lot.
Okay. Thanks for letting me clear that up.
Okay, I will ask if there is any public comment at this time. I know we've talked to the gallery quite a bit tonight, but. Yes,
I just wanted to say that, I really appreciate the time that you guys took tonight in explaining, you know, what was going on. I wasn't even gonna come to this meeting. I had a softball game and it got canceled. You know, I didn't come as prepared as I would have liked. But, you guys were very patient, and I know from, you know, I remember Georgia, and I think I remember Ron and Matt from when I come to meetings regularly a couple of years ago. And most people are not gonna realize all the effort that you guys go to sort through all the different regulations and nuances and stuff, just to keep the town running and solvent and a nice place to live. So I'm sure it's not those $100,000 a month paychecks you're pulling down. So anyway, thank you so much for
Yeah.
your
Thank you for
time
being here.
and devote routinely to keeping this town running smoothly. And thank you for your time.
Thank you.
If more people knew about it, they'd appreciate it too. Most people don't realize.
Everyone
Yeah.
sign that.
Yeah, everybody that's here, did everybody sign in for us?
Yeah, I see.
Don't forget, Chad doesn't want to go home with any baked goods.
If I do, make me eat it.
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
thank you. Come back again.
Yeah.